Hey, good morning, guys. Just built a fire. The weather is kind of broke some. So I've been out splitting wood already this morning for the fire. I had to split some real fine stuff to get it going in there. And Sal had burned a cat food sack in there, which is kind of like I don't know, kind of a plasticky thing. Anyhow, I saw that burning, so I said, well, heck, I'll just build the fire right now. So I got to back in the house and get this display set up. I can't see out there. Hey, guys, good morning. I've been up already outside splitting wood for the fire, get going. I split some kindling out of some dry ash and red elm that we have. Sal started the fire. Actually, he burned a cat food bag, and the wax on the coating of that paper, I saw it going. I said, heck, I might as well throw wood in there and get the fire going. We're on a break. The weather has warmed up some, but as you can see, I've been out. I use a maul. I use a splitting maul to do all my splitting. I've been using one of them for about 25 years. I have never really used a wood splitter. I like to split my wood by hand. Gives me something to do. Anyhow, I've been doing it for more than 50 years, and I enjoy it. So anyhow, and of course I had long poles laying up here, so I've been cutting up with the chainsaw as we needed them. But anyhow, I was going to show you some of what's going on today here. Sorry, the snow's melting off the tractors. It's not above freezing, but it's warm enough. So I've got to back two of these tractors out of here this morning and this quad, because I'm going to turn that Alice Chalmer C around and back in between those two poles in here and back it right up over in there. And I'm trying to make the best use out of this. I had wanted to get a door cut on that end for the tractors to come in, because I could put 5 tractors in here. Although we have 9, we have one in the garage. There would be 6 that wouldn't be under cover at the moment. But anyhow, I haven't got that done. I'm about to. Now this is going to be a short, I guess, because I need to get this thing mounted on my chest. Maybe. I also need to get my rototiller back in here. I need to, I just might as well start this right now, guys. What the heck? Why talk about it? Why not do it? So I'm going to fire the old trusty Suzuki up, turn the choke on because it is cold, and hit the starter here. Well, I better give it a little throttle there, maybe. Wow, unusual. There we go. Oh, it's too cold. All right, I better, hang on, guys. I better use both hands. I think maybe my gas is low on the tank here. I think it might be. But anyhow, did you see that big rut? That's the bad thing about a tricycle front end on a tractor. I like my tricycles, but the problem is, if you get in a wet barn and old manure, they sink. And didn't really sink. What happened was I had it in there, I pulled it straight in, no problem. But when I went to back out, I have to turn the front wheels to get around these poles, and when I did, it was dragging the horse poop, the old horse poop. I ended up having to hook onto it with one of my bigger tractors and pull it out of there. So anyhow, that's so what I'm going to do, I'm going to back it up over in here, back it in for the winter. Now it's frozen now, and it's dried out, I think, since that happened. But I'm going to back it in back in here for the winter. Then when I want to come out, I can come out front wheel first. But I got to get this out of the way, and it's asphyxiating me, so I'm going to back out of here right now. And this is like a 15-speed quad. Great old Suzuki. Oh, my chainsaw's on the back here. I forgot. Yeah, it is. If it hadn't rattled behind me, I would have totally forgotten about it. But I'm going to let's get the choke off over there a little bit so she smooths out. And what I was going to do on foot, I guess since the quad's running, we'll do on the quad. I'm going to take the chainsaw down off of here and set it over here, which that's alright, because later I'll cut some of these longer pieces of wood up again. But anyhow, trying to get through here like this. And I was going to show you, just in this cold spell that we got going, you know what, I'll leave that run. What's happened here is the deer and the birds have eaten a big pile of our corn already. I set Sammy down here the other day to run off a flock of starlings, and he did. He really enjoyed doing that. But we don't want these big flocks of starlings around here. You know, they start, and if they're safe here, then next year they'll have their babies here, and I don't want that to happen. There's some rabbit tracks. The bunny's been up here around the buildings. But anyhow, and this is where we run Sam down through too, to, you know, to go down here and chase the birds that were there eating all the corn. And I didn't want them starlings eating all the corn nice for the deer. But anyhow, I still got a fair amount. I haven't been able to get in the fields and pick it up, you know, because it's all covered up with snow. But there's still a good pile of corn in here. But look at all the bird tracks. And some squirrel tracks. The squirrels come down and see how they cleaned them ears. But anyhow, that they didn't do so bad on. But here, they destroyed it. I mean, and you can see there's a young deer's track in here. Anyhow, they 4 days ago, this still had plenty of corn. Look at it. They've wiped it out. In 3 or 4 days, they wiped this out. And see, here's a young deer. See, his foot's not very big. See, looky here, next to my fingers. He was a deer that was born this past spring. And so, it's supposed to rain this week, Tuesday or Wednesday, and then it snow again and whatever, but hopefully it gets it cleared off enough. Sal and I can get out in the fields and get picking up more corn. We don't want it to lay down all winter and, you know, and half rot and mold and everything else. We like to keep it up here, you know, always keep some up here. But this round pen was for breaking horses, and it's done. I should just knock it the rest of the way over, actually. Yeah, I didn't even realize it till I cut that tree last week and it knocked that pulled it over. So my buddy Jeff had told me, I bought all this wood from an Amish sawmill. It was fresh cut when I bought it, and it was, I imagine, old basswood. I know these boards were basswood. Anyhow, it doesn't usually hold up well, and it's held up about 33 years. My buddy that's a contractor told me he was really surprised that they held up that long. But that pole there with Sal's house on it, I imagine if I push on that, that'll break. So I'm not going to do it. But as you can see the other boards have fallen off the post around there. I rented a handheld post hole digger auger 33 years ago when I bought this, and I drilled those all by hand, and it was a piece of garbage, and it was hard to do. Anyhow, I'm going to cut this in short now. We'll go back to some shorts. I got to get up, shut the quad off. I hear the engine's racing now. It's ready for the choke to be shut off. But don't get bored, guys. We'll try to make today a better day. The weather's better. Come on back.